Hi, my name is Jennifer Bood, archaeologist and art historian. In the March of 1974, a group of peasants digging wells in Xi'an, China in search of water came across pottery fragments and ancient bronze weapons. Exploration and excavations began in July of that same year. Little did they know they would find the 2,000-year-old tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor in Chinese history, including an entire army of life-size terracotta warriors. Emperor Yingzheng, who later renamed himself as Qin Shi Huang, had this tomb created by putting an estimated 720,000 people to work. The emperor enforced the project when he was only 12 years old, so that when he died, he would forever be protected in the afterlife. Legend says that the Emperor Qin wanted to keep his tomb a secret, and in order to do this, he immediately had the builders killed. At first, archaeologists assumed that the discovery of the tomb just added to the idea that the first emperor had only cared for military might. However, this was not true. Qin Shi Huang may have conquered China with his army, but he held it together with a social system that lasted for many centuries. The first great emperor died when he was 50 in 210 BCE. The Qin dynasty only outlived him by 4 years. One indicator that the Qin rule had collapsed so suddenly was the extensive damage to the tomb. As order broke down after the emperor's death, people raided the pits where clay soldiers stood guard and plundered their real weapons. Not much is certain about the emperor and why the dynasty collapsed so quickly. The tomb was finally completed nearly 40 years later, along with the estimated 8,000 terracotta soldiers, or statuettes made from the earth. There are about 130 chariots, 530 horses, and 150 cavalry horses as well. The creation of these stone figures required massive kilns that could reach 950 and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The individuality of these soldiers is more astonishing. No two soldiers look the same. The artists made each of the faces and bodies distinct by creating different facial expressions, poses, and categorizing the different soldiers by rank according to hairstyle. According to Hiromi Kinoshita, some figures appear so strikingly individual they seem modeled on real people, although that is unlikely. Although the site has been in the process of excavation for nearly 37 years, it is nowhere near completion. Only 3 pits have undergone excavation, and not even those are completely dug up. These 3 chambers only form 1% of the total mausoleum area. An estimated 600 satellite pits and tombs have been found within the area of 56.25 square kilometers, and more continue to be discovered. From various found descriptions, the Chinese believe that Emperor Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum was actually an underground treasure house. They believe that a great outer wall, approximately 6,000 meters in perimeter, encompassed the emperor's tomb. Our best source of the possible contents in the Great Mausoleum come from Records of the Grand Historian by Sima Qian, which was created 100 years after Emperor Qin's death. According to this source, artisans carved a map of the whole kingdom on the floor, laced the ceilings with jewels to represent the sky, and created rivers and oceans with liquid mercury. A special machine was even believed to keep the mercury rivers flowing. This question has been brought up for many years, and due to the slow excavation process, it is impossible to know at the present. Guo Kun, a specialist in history of the Qin and Han dynasties, believed that the mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang is actually composed of 2 parts: the tomb mound, or a hillock above the tomb, and the underground palace, which is the chamber containing the emperor's coffin. Guo strongly believes that there is a collection of musical instruments and many valuable ancient books in addition to the treasures and jewels. The excavation of kata acrobats and musical instruments such as this bronze music bell affirmed the claim that Emperor Qin was fond of music, therefore making these predictions feasible. Based on this research and plausible evidence, these claims concerning the contents of the mausoleum seem very possible. High levels of mercury were in fact discovered and recorded in the soil at the site. It was common practice among aristocrats to put mercury in their tombs to prevent corpses from decaying during the Qin era. This also leads historians to believe that the corpse of Emperor Qin may be well preserved. Although evidence and logical speculation supports these theories, it is impossible to know what the other 99% of the mausoleum contains. Only the continuation of excavation and discoveries in the future can testify these guesses. Until then, we can still marvel at the discovery of the terracotta warriors and other treasures found so far in Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb. One of the greatest archaeological discoveries of modern times, therefore, remains a mystery. To review, what is the name of the first emperor in Chinese history? Artists categorize the different soldiers by rank according to what? Only pits have undergone excavation. Name one landscape or object that could be in the emperor's tomb.